Hi, everybody. This is Sheila, and welcome to week 2 of the 2020 Inspiring Photography Challenge. And we are still talking about and learning about composition. And today's topic is creating depth in your image. And we are going to create depth in our images with adding in foreground. Now, foreground needs to be interesting. It needs to add emphasis to our subject, not be distracting. Remember last week when we talked about removing distractions? Well, we need to be careful with our foreground that it is not actually distracting, that it's adding to our subject. Now, how do we add foreground into an image, you might be asking? Well, the best way that I can explain it is think about a landscape picture that you want to create. And in your landscape image, you have a subject. And you're going to put that subject somewhere in the middle. And then anything between you and the subject is your foreground. Anything behind your subject is going to be called background. So you're going to have a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. Middle ground being your subject. And that is what our challenge is going to be today, adding depth to our images through including foreground. Now, foreground is unexpected. It can really help to create a dynamic image. Sometimes foreground is also counterintuitive to what you might think because you just want to focus on the subject. A lot of times we need a little bit of space around our subject to be able to create the interest, to draw in the viewer. And we can use shapes, we can use lines, we can use patterns, we can use all types of things that draw attention and bring emphasis to our subject. And those shapes, colors, patterns, lines, they all might be included in your foreground. Now, why do we really want to add depth to our image? Because the way our brains work, we see an image and we have the ability to see all of its glory, all of the vast space and beauty. When we capture an image, we're only capturing part of what we were seeing. And in order for that not to look flat or shallow or two-dimensional, we want to kind of give it a third dimension. We need to give our viewer something that tells them this is deeper than just a flat image. And by putting a little bit of foreground in your picture, you're doing just that. Now, you can blur that foreground or you can make it clear. It just needs to be related to the subject. It shouldn't be something that is completely unrelated to what you're trying to capture or what you're trying to emphasize. It's like if I'm trying to take a picture of a lake, I don't want a car in my foreground. I might want a few little bushes or some rocks, something of interest that is related to what my subject is. So, go out and create some images by adding foreground, or let's say create some images with depth by adding foreground. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.